Schultz and Paul Arnott and I are all presenting this show at Northwind. And the thing that I think brings our work together, it took me a while to realize. First of all, I thought it just looked good together, and after a while I couldn't figure out why. And what I realized is that we all had degrees in science. Paul had a degree in medicine and was an emergency room doctor. And Scott is an aerospace engineer. And I am a zoology major. And there's something about that that you can see in all of our work.
Well, my name is Paul Arnott. I've been a sculptor, actually, of sorts ever since the 70s, but got into glass as perhaps my main medium about 1990. And right now I do a bit of work in glass, metal, and wood. And a lot of it involves cold working, which is everything that you do to the glass when it isn't hot. So a lot of my work is cutting and engraving, polishing, and treating surfaces. At this point here in Port Townsend, what I'm kind of able to do is a bit of experimenting with things that I've kind of always wanted to do. For example, the ball here, the glass ball inside of the grapevine spheres, is really a little more like the direction that most of my sculptural work has gone, which is to sort of play with a sense of irony. And ever since I sort of particularly started in the glass medium at the University of Hawaii, where I got my MFA, in the 90s I have been playing with irony. I'm sort of a unreconstructed hippie radical from the 70s, and so living in these times requires a considerable sense of irony. And so the idea of playing with the tensions that are involved in two sets of opposing forces or principles or actions that can never be resolved but must always stay connected to each other, I find particularly fascinating. So in this glass globes here, there are small polished lenses that allow you to view inside the globe, and it's the only way you can view since the rest of the globe is opaque. And in the globes then I put various tableaus of unfinished statements or scenes that raise questions and let the viewers figure for themselves what might be going on and answer questions that they might ask themselves, since their interpretations could be many. The statues are simply a form that has been in my head for, well, I guess as long as I can remember. Very tall, very thin, human, vaguely human forms, and now I have at least the chance to cast these pieces, and there are others of these that are anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, but I wanted this one just to be small. And again, the image is supposed to not tell you exactly what's going on. You can sort of make up that for yourself, the irony involved in that. So most of my work has to do with tensions and tableaus that don't really answer any questions, but just raise them.
So my name is Karen Rudd, and I'm a sculptor. And for as long as I can remember, I've been interested in science and nature and the environment and how humans interact with it. And for me, art is a way to talk about it. So about 5 years ago, Scott Schultz and I were on an archaeology dig. We were both artists in residence, and we went up to Darrington, Washington, and our job was to, among other things, dig in the mud, and also to locate, measure, and map old-growth tree stumps. And I came back from that experience and found myself fairly obsessed with tree stumps, and I made them in glass and plaster and bronze. And I woke up one day and decided that the perfect thing to make them in was cardboard. So I've been making various different size cardboard tree stumps. There's one here. And they range from this size, which is a small one, to the big one that's about 8 feet wide and 5 feet tall. So the large tree stump that I made during a residency here in Port Townsend, and that's when I found out what a great community it is for showing art. It's one of the most enthusiastic and intelligent communities I've ever shown art in. The tree stump that I made during the residency, people always ask me, where'd you get the cardboard? And in this particular case, I got the cardboard for that tree stump out of the dumpsters, mostly Fort Gordon and Henry's Hardware.